Hello, good afternoon. This is David Soto talking to you, and today I want to talk to you about trading with the trend. I know I've talked about this in previous videos, but I want to kind of go over this again and show you how to trade with the trend using my Excalibur trend indicator, okay? So it's very, very simple, and what I like to do is look at a higher time frame, like a 4-hour or daily, even weekly, to kind of get an idea what the big picture is in terms of the trend, which way the price is going. On the smaller time frames, it's okay. You can scalp, or you can get in and catch a few pips in and out, some trades. That's not a problem, right? But we want to look at, which way the market is really going long term, so that even on the smaller time frames, we can trade with the trend. Okay, so what I like to do is, start with the higher time frames and then compare it to the smaller time frames, and then I can either set a pin and order, or I can I can go ahead and just place a trade based on what the larger time frame is doing compared to the smaller time frame. So, like if the large time frame is showing a downtrend, okay, and on a smaller time frame I catch a good sell signal, then I can go ahead and just jump in that sell signal right away. Or if I'm in a long downtrend and I have a buy signal, I could place a sell limit pin and order up above the downtrend, okay, where the trend line is showing the downtrend. That is where I would place my pin and order, okay. So I'm going to give you an example real quick. Here we see we had this long downtrend, all right, and it finally came down to this bottom level here, right? So I can mark this and say, okay, I had this big high level of resistance here. We call this, our upper top, or whatever you want to call this. I don't care, but this is like the highest level of resistance right here, and then down here in the bottom is our lowest level of support. Okay, I'm going to mark that right there. So we had this in the middle is a range. All right, now we had this long downtrend, but we see some up arrows, right? And you can definitely catch some pips on these up arrows, 100 pips or whatever, I don't know, but it's okay. If you want to trade like that, you can. See right here, you could catch about 300 pips easily on these trades right here. The same thing with this. This one here, you could get from this arrow to this arrow, that's over 700 pips. But if you look at the higher time frames, like a 4-hour and daily, okay, you only see on the daily chart, you only see a downtrend. You don't see any arrows between this arrow and this arrow. All right, and same thing with the 4-hour chart. Okay, you only see a down arrow, and then finally you see the up arrow. So right now in the market, this pair is showing an uptrend, and it probably is going to go back up to this same level here, long term. All right, this is this arrow came in on the, say, about the 20th of April, 21st of April, somewhere around there, and formed this arrow on the first week of June. So you're talking about a couple months, about 2 months really, that this was in a downtrend. Now this is going back into uptrend. This is already the middle of June now. They're recording this video, so this is going to be in an uptrend probably for the next month, maybe even 2 months. All right, so that's what we want to look at, long trend. This is definitely in an uptrend, and it's going to be like that. If you want, you could place a buy trade on this and just leave it. But what I like to do is look at the smaller time frames, like the H1, H and M30, and here we see that it's coming down. Now we see we had a down arrow here, but there was never no blue up arrow that showed, right? So what I want to do in this type of instance, when you have a down arrow, do not place a sell trade. Instead, place a buy limit pin and order. because the bigger trend is bullish, meaning it's going to go up. So all I want to do is draw a trend line. Okay, we'll draw a trend line like this. All right, I just chose the color blue to kind of so it stands out better. But I think, I'm not 100% certain, but I feel pretty confident that this price right here, this candles are going to come back down and touch this trend line and then shoot up again, because we have 1, 2, 3 points already connected to form this trend line. Okay, so all we have to do is put a buy limit pennant order somewhere in here. All right, how I normally judge that is I look at a previous level of resistance that has been broken and is now a support. Okay, and what you can do is, like, look at this right here. This was a level of resistance that is now a support. So it's going to come down and touch that. Now, before it does, it's going to hit this trend line and bounce off. So well, there's another resistance right here. Okay, and if we look at these levels of support and resistance, this one right here might be the key. So it probably will come down and touch this support line here. It could break and touch this support line. I don't know. But what I want to do is place a buy limit pennant order somewhere in here. Even if it drops more, eventually it's going to come up. And I want to ensure that this actually hits. Okay, I hope this makes sense. So I'm going to place a buy limit pennant order, like where this line is, a little bit above this red line. Okay, at 1.12. Let's just say 250. Okay, I'll make it even 250. All right, this is my buy limit pennant order, and we notice that there's a support right here. So I feel pretty confident that this is going to hit and then, you know, continue up. Also, what I can do is place a buy stop pennant order above that red arrow. Okay, now watch this. I'm going to put 1.12750. I'm going to use this tick mark right here, and I'm going to place a buy stop pennant order right here. Now, for this to activate, it might take another week. I don't know, but that's okay. So eventually, here in the next day, maybe the next 12 hours, this is going to drop, activate, and then rebound up. And I can just leave it open. And when this one activates, I'll have 2 trades open. You understand? So, and then if we look at the higher time frames, like the 4-hour and daily, you see my strategy almost. You see that the trend line is here, and that I'm predicting this is going to drop and to activate this buy limit pennant order and then continue up. I think this is going to go as high as this line here. This is a strong area or level of resistance before, and it's going to go back up to that level. Okay, so, and like I said in the beginning of this video, I could place a buy trade right now. Just boom, open a buy trade and leave it. But I'm going to catch some drawdown in the initial leg of the trade. So to kind of avoid any drawdown, or, you know, get a little drawdown as possible, I want to use pennant orders like this. And I'm using my trap in the price strategy, which I've shown in previous videos, but at least this way I'm getting more of an accurate entry point, because at this point in time right now, I cannot say place a buy trade right away or place a sell trade right away. You know, chances are if I place a sell trade right or a buy trade right now, it's going to shoot down. Or if I place a sell trade right now, it's going to shoot up. It's Murphy's Law, okay? These brokers know what they're doing. But if you go by a solid set of rules that the brokers go by and the market makers go by, you have a very, very strong chance of winning every time. There's no perfect strategy, but at least this way is a very, very solid strategy that works, you know, at least 90% of the time, I would say. Okay? I don't want to say 100%, because then you're going to come back and chew me out because I said 100%, but this is a very, very strong, effective strategy. Okay? So please let me know if you have any questions about how to trade this. You know, I'm going to repeat this one more time. Start on a higher time frame, like a 4-hour daily. Find your trend, okay, and then look at the smaller time frames and see if your arrows match up to the higher time frames. If not, you need to use a limit pending order, either sell limit or buy limit. I don't care, whichever way the trend is going, up or down. But you need to try and make sure you trade with a trend. Okay, if the bigger trend is bullish, meaning it's going to go up, then only buy limit pending orders. If the trend is bearish, meaning it's going down, then only sell limit pending orders. Okay, so that's a very, very simple strategy. So just let me know if you have any questions or comments. Reach out to me on Facebook. There's a link below in the description of this video for my personal Facebook. I prefer that you contact me there. If not, there's a link for my private Facebook group, and you can post any questions or comments in my Facebook group, and then myself or other traders can collaborate and help you as well. Okay, so with that said, just let me know any questions, and I thank you and have a wonderful day.